This is the answer key to the March 2nd classwork problems on Module 9.2. Find the prime factorization of 6, use the factor tree. So I'm going to write 6 on top. We're going to use the factor tree. What times what makes 6? We know 1 times 6 makes 6 and 2 times 3 makes 6. Now we're not going to use 1 times 6 because 1 is not prime. I'm trying to break the number 6 down to prime factors. So I could use 2 times 3. So I'm going to write 2 times 3. And remember, you circle any numbers that are prime. So that 2 is prime and 3 is prime. And guess what? We're done. Now, I do want to say when you break 6 down to 2 and 3, then 6 is really no longer there. It gets replaced with 2 and 3. And then anytime you circle factors, that's going to go in the final answer. So then you just have to write them in numerical order, which is number order. So 2 comes first and then 3. That's it. Find the prime factorization of 12, use the factor tree. So 12, I could rewrite as you can do 6 times 2, 3 times 4. You just can't do 1 times 12 because 1 is not prime. But let's just say 12 becomes 6 times 12. Then in a way, you're crossing out the 12. It becomes 6 times 12. I mean 6 times 2. Now 2 is prime, so I circled it, and I know it's going to be my final answer, so I leave that alone. I look at 6 now. What times what makes 6? 3 times 2 makes 6, so 6 is no longer there. Now our answer is the remaining numbers, the remaining factors. And I have to write that in numerical order, number order. So 2 times 2 times 3 is a prime factorization of 12, or write it as 2 to the second power times 3. Now let's use the ladder diagram to do 12. So I wrote 12 and then wrote the L. Now the numbers the factors you pull out on the left have to be prime. So I can't pull out 6. I can't pull out a 12. You only could pull out prime factors. So this time we chose to do 3. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. So I move down here. I could pull a 2 out. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then I could pull another 2 out. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And once you see 1 on the bottom, you're done. So then the factors on the left, we write in numerical order, 2 times 2 times 3, or 2 squared times 3. Now we did prime factorize 12 in the other problem, and if you notice, we did get the same answer. And that's how you use the ladder diagram. Find the prime factorization of 48. Use a factor tree or the ladder diagram. So I actually used both on this one. So 48, 6 times 8. Now remember, you could use other factors like 12 times 4, and you'll still get the same answer. It doesn't really matter, as long as you're breaking down to prime factors. So 6 times 8 is 48. And then neither are prime, so I keep going. 2 times 3 is 6. So here I cross out 6, saying how 6 is no longer there. It became 2 and 3. Both 2 and 3 are prime. So let's look at 8. 2 times 4 makes 8. 2 is prime, so I circled it. Now 4 could be written as 2 times 2 to make 4. So now the factors that are left that are circled is our answer. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Or 2 to the 4th power times 3. Now, if you look on the right, 48, I could pull a 2 out. 48 divided by 2 is 24. 24 divided by 2 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. And now we're done. And I could write these factors in numerical order, and it's the same thing. Feel free to try any of these again.